Hello all, my name is Manu Agarwal and I am going to talk about recent upgrades to the HBM positioning tools in Oasys Primer 20.0. As you know, Oasys Primer provides tools to set up positioning analysis on human body models to be run in LS-DYNA. The Oasys also provides positioning tree files for the most popularly used thumbs and GHBMC models. These positioning tree files are available free of cost. Here is a thumbs male 50th percentile occupant model from Toyota along with the encrypted positioning tree file from Oasys. The positioning tree files contains details of a post star and entity called star dummy. A dummy is a Oasys Primer owned entity and is composed of assemblies, points, and sketch definitions. A dummy assembly is a collection of logically related parts of a HBM. Here we have assemblies for pelvis, thorax, heads, legs, arms, and various components of a spine within a human body model. Also to set the position of a model, we define a H point in the positioning tree. Primer's simulation-based method uses cables to pull body parts into position during an LS-DYNA analysis. This method has been used for dummy models for many years, and now over 60 companies worldwide use Oasys Primer for human body model positioning. We will now demonstrate the dummy positioning and seat scratch tool in Oasys Primer. This tool can be used to perform the single or multi-stage positioning of a HBM. For this demo, we will position the thumbs model on a vehicle seat. Also, we will position the hands of an occupant on a steering wheel. Here we will perform multi-stage positioning on the model. We will first position the model on the vehicle seat and then position the hands on a steering wheel. The tool will enable you to define the positioning cable properties and position the model with ease. In this first panel here, you can define the nodes on the human body model where the discrete cable elements will be attached to. These nodes are automatically available as these are included in the positioning tree file for the HBM. With these R buttons next to each assembly, you can choose to redefine certain limbs of the model. This will enable in the faster simulation runtime for the position model during the positioning analysis in LS-DYNA. Also with the I buttons, you can choose not to attach cables to these limbs as well. Here in this panel, you can define the cable stiffness and the unit system for the finally positioned model. Thumbs models come in MMTS, while GHBMC models come with mmkg-ms unit system. Now that we have defined the model and the cable properties, we are going to start with multi-positioning process. We'll perform the three-stage positioning, starting with HBM positioned on the seat as start position, then the occupant hands coming out of the original orientation as the intermediate position, and at last, the hands on the steering wheel as the final position. To position the model on the seat, first we rotate the model about the hip point. Then we shift the hip point to the seat location. This currently shown HBM orientation is set to be the start position for the LS-DYNA simulation. For intermediate position of the positioning process, we will move the occupant model hands out of the steering wheel plane. To view the internal structure of the model while positioning the model, you can use the visualization table tool. This is newly introduced in Oasys Primer 20.0. You can move the model limbs using the drag assembly tool. While positioning the model, if you want to restrain certain parts of the model, you can apply translational or rotational constraints as well. If you want to edit the model position, you can use the undo redo tool. Once the occupant limbs are oriented into position, you can match the similar orientation for the other side by using the mirror tool. This is now set as the intermediate position of the model. You can also set the simulation time in milliseconds. Also, you can add the options to create DYNA files during the simulation. Oasys Primer can be used to import this DYNA file to make the model ready for the final crash analysis. Now we are setting up the final position of the positioning analysis by moving the hands on the steering wheel. To position the hands on the steering wheel, you can use the rotate angles tool. Using this tool, you can modify the local angles between the parent and the connected child assemblies. As you can see here, changing the angle values in the docked panel, you can position the arms and the hand. Again, you can use the mirror tool to position the left hand in the similar orientation as the right hand of the occupant. This is now the final position for the positioning analysis. As the last step for this process, we now create the model to be sent for the positioning analysis. This is the model generated by Oasys Primer to be sent for positioning analysis in LS-DYNA. You can see the primer has created two sets of discrete elements in the model, along with the relevant boundary and control entities. Thank you.